Welcome back everybody to another Fallout video. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about everything camp related. If you are brand new to Fallout and you need a little help trying to figure out where to get started. It's a little overwhelming, I will admit, when you're first getting out there and trying to piece together how to build a successful camp, what to place, and how to go about it. I've included some tricks at the end and maybe what you should be placing to really set yourself up to be successful. So with that being said, let's get started. So I wanted to do a little tour first to kind of show you how I set mine up. Every camp is very personal to the player. I have built mine to kind of showcase my personality. It's a little bit of both worlds. I'm a collector at heart. I like to collect everything in the game, but I also want to be efficient. So I have things around my camp that are constantly generating resources for me, but also show off my personality where I can really shine with decorating. So I'm going to give you guys a little tour because I know inspiration is really important when you're first getting out there and you kind of want to see what the world has to offer and what is possible. So I have a couple pre-builts here. When I was first starting in the game, I realized pretty quickly that building a house just piece by piece took up a lot more build room than pre-builts. And because of my build style, and I know this is not for everybody, that I was running out of room pretty quickly. So I started over with some pre-builts and I had a lot more build budget. So that's what I decided to do. So I have actually 3 pre-builts on my property and I have a lot more build budget because of that. So I have my main house, my garden, a church, and my market. And that way I can get everything, including all of my decorations, all of my farming items, and everything that really showcases my collector heart and everything on that I wanted, and I don't run out of room very easily. So that's great for who I am. So with that being said, I kind of want to jump into what I find most efficient when you're doing your camp. Now I know I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I know not everybody that plays Fallout is like this. And that is fine. You play the way that you like to play. I know some people are very simple. They just put out exactly what they need to put out. That is absolutely fine. I like to collect. I like to show things. I'm very proud of what I find, and that is okay. But let's talk about what you should be putting down. And it would be a fusion core recharger. So the problem with it is it has to be bought in the atomic shop. And I believe it's 700 atoms. But man, is this thing worth it. You'll just pop your fusion cores in here. This is great for your power armor, for the guns that take them. It is a lifesaver, and I always have it running. So next up, an ammo converter. So this one is one that you can actually get from the atomic shop or from Mortimer in the crater. So I like that. It can either be one or the other. So this one is great. I hoard ammo. I grab all the ammo all the time, whether I'm going to use it or not, and I pop it in this machine, and you sell the ammo that you don't want to buy ammo that you do need because it gives you points. So I love this. I use it all the time, so I'm never low on ammo. Okay, something you should do pretty quickly when you get your camp set up is lay down a vendor. Now, I know when you're first starting out, it might seem like I don't really have anything to offer, but you quickly will be finding things that you never know who will be needing it, whether it be ammo or guns that maybe you don't think you'll ever play with. You'll be doing missions, you'll be doing this or that, and you don't know who will come by and want that item. So it's a great way to have passive income, and you don't know who will be needing that. So lay down a vendor quickly, and it's a great way to get caps. Okay, let's talk allies because every camp should have an ally for a couple reasons. There are two allies you can romance who have really long storylines that are pretty interesting and give you a lot of script if you do them. Beckett is one of them. He has a pretty extensive story you can follow along with. And if you play your cards right, he can be your partner and you get lover's embrace at the end of it by sleeping in a bed with him. Haha. But yeah, they become a vendor at your camp for you. Like you see here, this is Beckett's screen. So highly encourage you to have an ally at your camp. All right, another item you should have at your camp is a Collectron of some sort. And honestly, I'm pretty partial to the dog. I mean, it's a dog, come on. But I love Fetch. This one is the junk dog, and he brings me junk constantly. And I love that. I mean, I scrap it. It is pretty quick too. I will empty this thing, go do a couple things, come back. It is completely full again. You can change what they go and bring you around the holidays. They will have an option to have Christmas gifts, which is pretty adorable, but there's a lot of different options when it comes to the Collectrons. All right, let's talk beverages. Oh my gosh, these two right here. Company tea and canned coffee. The canned coffee machine was actually in the Atomic shop, so I picked that up. But the company tea is something you can get. So this is the company tea and canned coffee machine. So company tea reduces disease risk by 20% chance, gives you a very high increased AP regeneration, and reduces your thirst by 42%. Okay, and then canned coffee, it generates 12 AP per second for a period of 25 seconds. So company tea is better than canned coffee. Canned coffee you can just find in the wild. And the canned coffee machine is in the Atomic shop, so keep an eye out for that. This is what happens when you drink the company tea. Company tea machine can be purchased, I think, for 1,250 gold from Mortimer in the Crater. So save up those tickets so you can go purchase that. But oh my gosh, 2 of those in your camp, it's a no-brainer. All right, next up, the Sympto-matic. So this thing is great, and it can easily be obtained from doing daily ops or from Minerva when it's in her rotation. You just simply step inside, and this thing will cure you of your disease. So it can save you on disease cures if you don't want to carry them. Highly recommend it for your camp. All right, let's go back to something I hit on in the beginning of the video when I talked about stuff that is constantly generating items for me. I have several of those around my camp, and as soon as you can start placing anything that is generating something for you, I recommend it. Even if it's simple, water, a garden, those things will become invaluable to you because it prevents you from constantly having to go out and get those items yourself so you can focus on going into battle. So what do I have around my camp? And I know I have some things I'm missing and I'm always working to improve. But what do I have right now? Well, this tree, for instance, it is currently in the shop and it produces excess adhesive. And this is super important. This is used in so many recipes. Also, a boiled water generator because that is used in recipes. A garden, for instance, because we're always using vegetables. This nodding donkey you can currently get in the shop. Also, anything like this fetch collector is also full again. Like I said, it's always producing junk for me. I have this waste acid butterfly sanctuary. It's in the shop as well. Canned coffee. This is my little cookie jar, which gives me food. What else do I have here? I have this chicken coop raw fertilizer that can be purchased from a vendor. I have purified water. I have this butter churn, which is from the event that's going on right now. I got the plan for. I have this fertilizer collector, which I can also milk the Brahmin that comes with it. I have several things around my camp that is always producing items. And that is really what I'm trying to get at here. Anything you can place in your camp, do it. And then the other thing I want to hit on, anything that gives you a buff, place it. And what do I mean by buff? Anything that's going to help you and give you something that is going to help you level up, give you something that helps your character, either it be strength, perception, charisma. And if you place it by your vendor, it's great for people that's coming to visit your camp. It'll help them when they're traveling around. Okay, let's talk about camp placement. So a lot of people don't realize that you can actually have multiple camps. So this is my second camp because the first one I built, like I said in the beginning, I kind of messed up and wanted to kind of redo it all. It was my first camp and you learn a lot. So you get 2 camps that you are allowed for free. And if you expand the camp section here, you actually will see you have 2 slots. So this is my other slot and it is up here. And I name them. So I always encourage you to name them so you know which one is which. And if you expand here, you can see activate. And you can just click them on and off. And they will always stay there. Nothing gets deleted. And it is great if you want to put them in different parts of the map. You can teleport for free. So if you want to spread them out, you can have multiple camp slots. So if you want more than 2, you can purchase extra camp slots for 1,000 each. So this is actually kind of hidden that a lot of people don't realize that you can have multiple ones when you're first starting out. So it allows you to kind of make mistakes, I guess you could say. You can mess around with your first camp and you don't have to get super serious with it if you want to just start over, but not lose your first camp. Have it as your kind of experiment camp, I guess you could say. All right, so let's talk about the build limit, because if you're like me, you will find yourself running out of it pretty quickly if you're a collector. So let's find a way around it, and that involves shelters. And I have a sneaky way around it. And this one is the Wasteland shelter. I bought this in the Atomic Shop. And if you place a shelter, you get a brand new budget to work with. If you look up in the right-hand corner, I use this one for all of my really big pieces that I want to display in fun ways. And I use this one as kind of like a weird post-apocalyptic, I don't know what you call this. It has a vibe. I can't put my finger on it. But I use this for displaying all my really big pieces. And it doesn't take up a lot of room, as you can see. I have a brand new budget, and I can put a shelter inside of a shelter. So I have my vault room, and I can show you how to get this one. This one's absolutely free. You don't have to even go to the Atomic Shop, and you can just visit Vault 51 up here. I have a video showcasing this one. I'll link right here for you. But if you visit Vault 51 before you go into the vault to the left-hand side, you can get this one for free. But again, brand new budget. After you place another shelter, as you can see here, I've decorated this one, and these travel between camps. So this one actually I decorated in my previous camp, but then once you place it in another camp, it's fully decorated. And this one's brand new. I haven't even started decorating this one yet. And this is just a door that I placed in a vault. So it's kind of vaultception, I guess you could say. But you get a brand new budget just over and over and over again. So if you just want to keep decorating and don't want to have to worry about the pesky budget, you can do that. You just keep placing your shelters over and over and over again. So it's kind of fun. And once you exit, you're right back in Appalachia. So it's kind of nice way to bypass the pesky budget. So moving on, let's talk about blueprints, something that's kind of handy. This is a really easy way if you like something and you kind of want to carry it around with you. All you have to do is go into build mode and highlight the thing that you want to blueprint. And if it's grayed out, it will copy it. So keep that in mind. And there's a couple items here that didn't get copied. So if you go over to them and highlight them with Z to select them. So like this little item here to the left, I want to copy it. So I hit Z on it. And this little statue to the right, I hit Z to make it gray. And I think everything has now been copied. And I hit create blueprint. Now, blueprints are still a bit funky. You don't get a whole lot of room. So I highly encourage you to keep them small. Name them. It'll show you in the top right how much room you have. So be mindful of that. But smaller builds, it works really well. So if you just go over to blueprints and then go to the one you just named, there it is. And you can place this in any of your new camps and it should have gotten everything. And there it is, along with your power supply that you have attached, as long as it's grayed out. All right, guys, that will do it for today's episode. I know there's probably a million things I could have included in today's video, but for time's sake, I left out a lot. But if there's ones that you wish I would have included, or the ones that you really have to have in your camp, feel free to put them in the comments down below, and maybe I'll make a part 2 and yours will be included. I also want to mention I have a brand new Fallout Discord that a bunch of you have joined, and we've been playing games together, which has been really fun. So if you want to jump into that, scroll down to the description. It is in there, as well as all the timestamps for today's video. And as always, don't forget to hit that like or subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one.